Millennium fever has gone and got me down. With a Geiger counter in my hand, I'm gonna sting me some government. Okay, we should be going live any moment. Alright, yep, and I need to mute it on the other thing. We should be going live any moment. And alright, yep, and I need there is the last thing coming through. Okay. Mute. Alright. Alright. We should be live. And yes, it appears we are. Good, yes.
Hello there.
Hello there. I was about to test if that works. You did it for me. Alright then, Moo. Formerly Little Man. We doing some art fight! And this time around, I think I'm gonna try my hand at doing a mass attack. Let me see if I can find the right tab to show what I'm looking at here, if my OBS will cooperate. I might need to close and open it again. Do that one shuffle dance? No? Come on. Cooperate for me, system. There we go. Stuff's looking correct now. Firefox, R5 browse. Yes, this should be the right one. Okay. So, I have been looking through a bunch of different people's Hollow Knight OCs, and like I said, I think I'm going to do a mass attack for this stream. And I think I want to look through for just a touch longer, see if there's one or two more vessels I can grab. And then, yeah, we'll start to work on that. I like the Undertale graphic on that. What's your permission? Species? Also, that's dark. Sort place in Tana. Just a crossover doesn't mean just me against rules. Nothing. Okay, you got nothing against doing a mass attack, so I will bookmark you. And I think I will look for one more before we get into it. I want to have plenty to source from when I do this. I probably already have enough. I don't know how many I'm actually going to do. There's definitely at least 2 ones I want to do for this because they're apparently have story connection. But any others that hello
Hello there.
hello there. I am looking for 1 or 2 more vessels to bookmark before I start to work on my first mass attack. Also, I mean, you're probably gonna say yes, given your username, but is Digital Circus good? I've been. I mean, of course, it's probably good, but I haven't actually seen any of Digital Circus. I've been meaning to, especially now that it's complete, to my understanding. But the fan base has kind of scared me away a little bit from what I've heard, if I'm being honest. But then it does. But then, yeah, I probably should finish Murder Drones first. I've only seen like the first 2 episodes of it. Was good. Wasn't a huge fan of the finale. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't. Fan base is scary, but the show is good. And that sounds about right. I mean, yeah. I'll probably go back and finish Murder Drones before I go to it, though. There's only like a couple episodes in. I did. I think I mentioned this in the Discord a bit ago, but I did finally get to watch Hail Mary Project recently, which was really good. And I very much now get why everyone was fawning over the Funny Rock Spider. Might actually do a Iridian character at some point later on, now that I've seen it. It is really good. I think it's fine. It might have just been because of the plan we were on, but I think it's free with ads on Amazon now. What's your little too human clothing with me for that one? And I want to be accurate to people's art. At least within the realm of adapting it to 3D like I'm going to. I think, honestly, I think that's good. I think we have enough. So we're going to go to my bookmarks, unorganized, because I am not the organized type. Oh, you're working on some attacks too? Nice. And I mean, hey, if you wanna attack me, feel free to go for it. You can either do my model or human. You want to shoot for either of mine if you're on a different team or don't care about self-targeting or inner team target. You know what I mean? Yeah, these are the Aphid and Wasp, I believe, were yeah. These two are the ones that had the connection. So we'll start with them. See, sibling and Wasp. Let me double check. Interact. Yep. Okay. So on the laptop, try to figure it out a little. I mean, it is fun. Like I said, so Blender has like a step, then a curve on its learning curve, to where there's the first little period where you're gonna have no idea what anything does, and I'll try to help you through that if you want. But it's gonna take you like a couple steps of how do I do anything, and then it's gonna smooth out into a learning curve. Use a term you'll probably understand later. It starts as a stepped interpolation and then goes to a Bezier. Yes. Anyways, let us come over to Blender and start with Aphid by Axel742. Let me bring y'all over into Blender if... Okay, I gotta re-hide, open. Will you cooperate? Why are you not letting me open Blender? Really? Let me show them Blender. Why must you cause me problem? There we go. Okay. You should be brought into Blender now. Probably similar tutorials and go from there. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the gold standard for the learning how to do Blender at all is Blender Guru's donut tutorials, but he's started to do some things that I think are mildly questionable. It's been a while since I looked at any of what he's done. I don't remember at this point. But like I said, there's a million how to start Blender videos out there, and like I said, if you want any help, I'll give it to you. Space background? Yes, I did. It is actually one of my older space artworks. I haven't done a landscape format space art in a while, but that is one of mine. Space art was like the main thing I defaulted to for quite a while before I eventually started doing other stuff. Okay, so it's basic vessel body, and then the unique head shape. Starts with a cube, as we always do, but not the initial cube, because you always have to delete the cube it spawns with. Those are the rules. The sacred duty of all who blender. This is something you shall learn. Oh yeah, like I said, I'm still learning things all the time with Blender. Why are you... Okay. Generate... Mirror. Flipping. Yeah, if you ever want me to do any kind of tutorial or guide of something you've seen me do, just let me know and I will. Should be good to start with. Oh wait, let's plop the initial subdiv. Zoop. Like so. Up a little bit more. Give us a bit of neck to work with. Bring that a bit out on the Y. Then unclip for a second. Extrude face along normal. Re-engage clipping. Even that out. Shrink it in a little. Extrude it down a bit. Down a bit. Then let me take a look at that again. Yeah. This can pull in a little. Shrink that in. Pull it out. E. Back. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Oh! I forgot to turn on the music. My bad. My bad. I knew I was forgetting something. There we go. No! Yeah. Hey, and if anyone has ideas for different chat commands I could do, please let me know. I want to add some more stuff and more interesting stuff. Not like that. There. One there. There. Double that loop cut. Add one here. The stuff bends better. Now we start extruding carapace. Extrude along normal. Turn off clipping for a moment. Re-engage clipping, extrude along normal. Beam sound effects for different seniors. This happens to what? Not a bad idea. That or the huh? There we go. Turn off clipping before I extrude those. Shrink them down a little. Should do. Shade smooth A. Add one more level of subdiv. Add mesh cube. Mirror. Ibra wouldn't be bad either. Gotta think about which ones are the least used to swap out with. I don't think anyone's used the Nani one at all. X-Files doesn't get X-Files, Uwu, those don't get too much, neither does Error. I'll have to think about it. What was head shape again? Head shape was honestly pretty much bucket with just the horns on the one side, so
NANI?!
yeah. That one might be one I swap out. So just the two eye, the two horn like that. Okay. Object edit. R. Loop cut. Go up here. Down here. Now we add the subdivision. Nope. Disengage clipping. Shrink down. Pull in. Up. And then they are pretty large to the head, so whole thing a bit bigger, a bit too big, about like, I want to say that's good. Yeah, it's about the same width as the shoulders, so we will apply that object edit. There's a little bit of a horn right here on this. Kind of like that. And then two largers. And then this one even larger. This one actually needs to move in a bit. Like I said, well, they said they were working on their own attacks, so they're probably just focused on that and have us in here for background noise. I was doing that earlier myself. Watching other people's streams while doing those two other attacks I did today. Yeah, I mean, either way, it was nice of them to stop in for a moment to take a look at what was going on. I'm sorry. No. Okay. Either way, we're glad to have. Even if you had just stopped in for a bit, it was nice to have you here. But I am glad you're hanging around for at least a little bit. Order touch. How is that looking versus? I think the eyes need to be bigger. appreciate that. Yeah, that looks about right. Well, no, that center one's the other horn's supposed to be more center. Nope, I'm gonna have to rework the head. Cube, pull it up. About as broad as the shoulders. Let's try to do this the correct this time. Bevel so we can have the horn more centered. Bevel so. Bevel like so. We'll add one more split here for the eye. And then now might as well skip, not do the mirror, we'll just do subdivis. Actually, do and then we'll extrude just a little. And then starting more from the middle with this horn. Up needs to be even more central than that, starting from let me glance at, yeah, it is more central. Actually, I do want to include all these. Pull that back. Then all right, let me know when you're back. Is this should be out more. I think that is closer. I think that is closer. Okay. This horn shape is actually deceptively hard. Individual. That's better. Now if we start the sculpt mode, round it out. Apply that subdivis, give a multi-res. I think we'll handle this from sculpting now. Turn on X symmetry for a moment. Let's decube this a little. Turn off XSim. Now if we build out right here. Build. Regular brush. Smooth. Yoink this in a bit. Smooth it back out. Last thing I want is for this to not be recognized immediately by the person who made the original. By the way, Palm, if you're still here, if you don't mind me asking, what team are you on? Yeah, that's close. That's what we're looking for. Oh, it looks like the fireworks are starting. Happy 4th, everyone. I say looks more like sounds like, but you know what I mean. Now I think the eyes are a little too big. they are pretty big on the thing. Most of the forehead, not forehead, front of the face, whatever. Edit this. A little bit better. Beef up edges. And I'll come back and smooth it. There we go. That's close, right? Still feel like they're too far apart. First, we will shape, apply the base. Now we will enable median, and then we'll just... Hey, man. Glad you're back.
Hello there.
Hello there. Ah, no, that's too small. Let me open up a second window sort and let you tell me what you think. That is put that above the first one. Set this to be here, and then what do you think? The eye's about the right size? Am I horribly off? I feel like I'm horribly off, but at the same time, I'm not sure. Tad bit wider. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Thank you. Yeah, that looks closer. Let me pull that up again. Yeah, I think we're much closer now. I think yes. I think with the cloak, and the little blade. Yeah, I think that'll do it. All right. So add mesh, cylinder G. Bring it to size of the neck. Put it in. All right, about right there. Edit. Extrude. let me see how that would roughly reach. And that's versus. So yeah, actually that's about where it should be. Undo that rotation. Now we will object edit. Delete that. Delete. And then take these two. Well, we will give it one subdiv. Delete that there. We'll do one. Yeah. Now we'll put that. Yeah. Then we will do V. Do one more up. V. V to split those edges. Then let me glance at the cloak model again. Oh, wrong thing. And it splits right about where the arm should be and gets more jaggedy there. And then it does end in more of a jagged along the rest of it. You know, I'm not sure. I'm reading. So, when I look at it, right, I read these horns to be on the side, but they could just as easily be straightforward. And that's part of what was actually throwing me on the design, because you bring it over with the. Unless there's a bet. No, that's those two together. That's a different shell shape. Yeah, no, it is on the side. So it's flipped in this image. Or is. No. I think it might. I think you might be right. I think it is center of the head. Okay. So I gotta rework the skull again. Mask again. Like on the side, because it's. I think it might look like it's on the side because you're looking at. Yeah. I think that is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna pause doing that. Redo the head. Hopefully third time's the charm. And this looks correct. And since, because we've said they're more, because yeah, I think we can act. No, it is good that you brought that up, because I'm trying to get as close to the original drawing as possible with this. No, cause see, I think they are offset to the side, but they were closer to the center than how I had them. Okay, I'm gonna leave the Art5 page up on the stream for a moment, so I can just look to my side on that for at the reference image, and then maybe that'll help. I thought this one was gonna be a lot easier, but now that we're in it, it is. Hmm. Oh no, they start from the center, can't to the right, and then to the left. I think maybe. And then the head tilt is the entire back of the head is tilted up. I think that's it. This is throwing me a lot more than I thought it was going to. Let me move that a little bit more so it's not blocking when I'm doing as much. Okay. I think I figured it out though. It's essentially this. No, no, it's not. I wanted to do this because, but it's fighting me. Thought this was working. It is not working. No. Hmm. Yeah, for the commands to work, the command has to be the first thing. Apparently, I figured that out like a stream or two ago. Uh, why is this throwing me so badly? And one of the horns is smaller, so the central horn is smaller. Uh, uh, oh, why is my mouse not responding? That was weird. The mouse stopped responding for a second. So it is that. And then do that. And then let me. Because yeah, it is. I think. I think this is it. Let me. Yeah, I think. Like. Okay, this one needs to be more forward. This one needs to be a bit more forward too. Yeah. And then if I get the reference that looks the other way. Yeah, I think this is it. I think we've got it. I need to tweak the back part a little. That needs to be further back and less. I think we'll tweak that in sculpting. Now we'll do the eye holes. Make sure this is even. Okay. Mesh, make that a bit, scale it up to the right size. It was a little small, and now we go into sculpt. We give it a multi-res, one subdiv. Unbox it a little. What do you mean it found the web? Oh, did I? Oh, hang on. I had it on top chat, and that means I think I missed. No, I didn't miss something. What do you mean you found the website? I didn't see what website you were talking about. I don't. Now let me see if the okay. I don't. That should have triggered it actually. Let me see why the commands aren't triggering for you. Okay, no, they are. I don't. It. Oh, it's because there's a period right after cooking. It's. Chat must know what they're talking about the Artify website. Yeah, I mean, you just Google Artify and it should pull it up. It's. And if you want to join, I kind of would recommend it at this point. It's been fun so far. Round those corners a little. And do that. And those eyes are still a little too big. So for a shape, you need to apply base. And then Yeah, that's. I think. No, they still need to be smaller. I was not expecting this one to throw me like it did. I really was not. Mm, yeah, it's closer. Now in sculpt, if we smooth this corner out, then we round out the eyes. That's too much. My strength was set too high. I think that's better. Then pop one more sub division, and then do little. Now that we got the shape good, we can start stylizing it a bit different. Smooth, smooth that. We cube it more. Just a little cubey. No! Yours or mine? Thank you! And hello, Root Beer Possum too, which, by the way, fantastic username. If you want, if you're doing art fight yourself, you can actually this my avatar is one of the characters I've listed. And Pomni, I am sorry that your art is not doing what you hoped. I mean, as you can tell, that was happening with me here a minute ago. Okay, I think smooth this bit. This. Yes, do an art fight. My user is Tabby Boba. You know what? Let me check you out for. That probably sounded wrong. Let me pull you up for a moment. Let me duplicate this. Here, and you said it was users, search users, if it would load for me. Count from yeah, we were actually talking about digital. Oh, also, hello, Fierce Fighter Fox. We were actually talking about TAC just a minute ago. And yeah, this is more people than I'm used to in the chat, if I'm being honest. Okay, now, we were looking for. You said it was. Tab. UBBY underscore B0BA. Nope, that's not. Abby Boba. Have a stream up while you do revenge? Okay. Like I said, I was watching... What? Did I type that? I didn't fix that. Whoops. Okay. I was watching a bunch of different people while I did the first 2 attacks I did today. This will process. There we go. This you? Yeah, I'm just a little character. What? I like the thumbnail on this one. I might. I may do this one. Let me bookmark it. And now for Fighter Fox, I will check yours out too. Since I got you both on here. I'll check all 3 of yours actually. That's not the right thing. I need a user search. Alright. So next was WY in underscore 1218. I'm Tragedy. I'm Team Tragedy, yeah. This should be you. I don't know how to gussy up my main page yet. Okay. Despite this also being my first year, but a mystery. Probably won't attack you because I'm not nearly as good at people as I am other things, but I do really like this one, so I will bookmark you. Team Mystery. Okay. Like I said, I've been attacking Team Mystery people more than anything else, purely out of coincidence, but I've noticed the trend. And then last one was the Little Miles. So let me search you up. Not characters. Why do I keep clicking characters? I need to click users. Here, and then it is the list. Yeah. It's not in your characters at the moment, but I do really like the one you chose as your thumbnail. And this one's got a fun background too. I kind of like the. Let me take a better look at this one. I like this one, yeah. This one's nice. The thumbnail you liked on one of my art, you better possibly trace it back. Your possum, yes, Tabby. Let me back up to where you were. This is no forward. Where? There we go. This one is the one I had. I think that's the Flareon. I mean, it looks like it's an EV version. Wait, no, Flareon is one of the EV. I have never played the Pokemons, but I do really like this one. Did my music turn off? I did not have my music looping. Whoops. All right. Like I said, nice to have all of you join in. Been drawing ever since this started. Yeah. I've been doing a fair bit myself. I joined Art Fight for the first time day one. I think it was I think it was the first day Art Fight was up. I had been meaning to for like a year or two before, but I'd not worked up the courage to do so. Self confidence in my art until then, if I'm being honest. Even now, I'm still really hesitant to approach a lot of the different characters I've seen because I am not great with a lot of things that make a lot of character art. Like I do a mixture of 2D and 3D stuff, and I'm not good at anything that's too close to being a human. Thank you. I have a. I think I've done 2 3D attacks so far. Yeah, it's been 2. It's this one that was the first attack I actually did, which was a Hollow Knight OC, and then the other one was a Wizard Snail character. Yeah, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Blender has. I like to say Blender like switches its interpolation for its learning curve. Yeah, I mean that is all that matters. If you enjoy your art, like I said, something I've said a lot is to not compare yourself to other artists in terms of is mine good. Compare yourself to your past self. Look at other artists, of course, learn from them, try and steal techniques if you can, but only judge how well you have done based on how well you have done previously. And even then, don't be too hard on yourself. That said, this head shape is really throwing me, but I think I mostly have it. I think. Yeah, I think translating this type of design into 3D is a little tricky, but I think that head shape is. I think my head is. Pull down the chin area a little bit. And smooth it up. Okay, I think the head is good. All right. Now we can work on getting that cloak right. And did I split this yet? Yeah, I did split that. Okay. And then we're gonna need to kind of. Nope. Here. Split. We'll delete that. And then split to here, I think. Let me look at that one more time here. Yeah, it does. I think I might have taken that split too high. Well, no. Yeah, that puts it like. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And that gives room for the arm to move too, which more important is somewhat of an important liberty you gotta take on 3Difying this. Here we'll split this one. 1, 2, 3. Alright, here we'll split it. And now we'll start breaking up to flange the cloak or whatever. However, I'm not a fashion person. I don't know the right terminology. make it tattered. Tattered's probably the right term. Do that. Delete them. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 5. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2, 3. 4. Let's say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Sometimes I like watching the stream as I'm also drawing art fight. Yeah, I think I've said this a couple times while I'm doing this stream, actually, but I was doing that for the first 2 attacks I launched today. I can only really stream in the evenings, but I have still a fair bit of free time on my hands most days. One upside of unemployment, V. Alright, now let me give that a sub. And then we will make the color. Nope. Deselect everything but right here. Pull that up. Make things smaller. Forward a bit, and that should be all right. Now let's see if that is long enough by putting first let's convert that to a mesh because it's good. And now we will say physics collision, physics cloth, and then we will pin the neck. Am I on the right thing? Let me hide that subdivision. Yes. We will assign this to a new group. And then in the... Oh, I'm still covering half the screen. Whoops. Let me hide that. Especially because that's the important side of the screen now. Cloth. Collision. Down here. Shape. Pin group. Does that reach long enough? We can worry about everything else after. I want it to be a little bit longer than that, so object edit. I'm gonna grab the outermost edges. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do in Blender that makes things like it has the cloth simulations are fun. You gotta know how to play with them, and it took me a while to figure out how to play with them to get them to somewhat obey what I wanted them to do. But especially for characters like this, that's a simple cloak, it is a huge boon to making them. Also, I need to deselect that. Then I can just expand. And now we run that again. And now it comes down to about where I want it to come down to. So, the next thing we can do is start messing with the cloth stiff, with the weight paint. So we're going to go till it's just like, strength, lower that. And we're gonna try at least to spread the weight paint out, but softly. which can be a little finicky, especially on something like this. Well, I might actually, hang on, undo that. Okay. If I go to weight paints, there, which, what is the thing to click on this? I know I've done this before. What is it? No, brush, no. Not brush. What is the? There is the click out thing. Okay. This gradients. Now if I go, there we go. Now it does get right there too, but we can then fix that. Actually, let's just see how that does first. Yeah, no, that messes it up completely. Okay, object. Weight paints, weight 0, strength maximum, brush, start on weight painting, everything on around, because the weight paint is going to control basically what bends and what doesn't bend, and I want the collar and like right around the neck to be stiffer and not bend nearly as much, and have a softer fallout so it's not just a hard line where it's bending and not bending. I probably should have let the simulation play for like half a second so this started to drop, and that way it would have been a bit cleaner, but oh well. I'm not gonna have these actually be animated. I'm just gonna let them, I'll probably rig them just so I can pose them. And then I'll turn off the cloth sim and then let the cloth, or essentially pause the cloth sim and then let it play towards once I've got everybody posed up. Because this is going to be a mass attack. Or at least, yeah, that's the intention. I'm going to... Right now, I'll see how that falls. Oh wait, I need to put this on the outside. There we go. That's why it's so slow. Alright, how... Still... Weight paint. And actually, let's randomly unweight a little bit of the collar too, so it has a little bit of wiggle to it. And then we'll do that in here. There we go. There we go. Now we can go into the colored view, but not like the rendered color. Texture view, I think is what's called. Then here on the head, we will give a slightly off yellow, and then a second color, which we will say full black here, and then importantly, we'll give it an emission value, but we'll give it the emission color black. So we'll get, and that will do is basically means that there will not be any shadows inside of its eye or any reflection inside of its eye, like the void from which they respond. And we'll go from this ring. We will assign the material, hide those, select, Control L to select everything. Assign it all, unhide. Now, yes. Now for this, we will start with just a base screen, shaded smooth, hide it for a moment, do the body next. Almost entirely black, but leave a little bit towards of purple. Drop the roughness way down. And now we can start the more complicated shader shenanigans. For the cloak, we'll pull out a color ramp. And there's actually, let me bring that back. It's a much darker green. So we will go select that, except actually, we'll leave that for highlights. In between, that right here, that there, noise texture, scale it up a little, up the detail a little, pull that into a bump, that to the normal, put it from the normal to the height, and actually this is the point where we need to swap over to cycles. So come over here, Eevee, cycles, make sure it's to GPU, and fun thing, if anyone's watching who tried to use cycles and is having issues with it, not only do you need to flick this to GPU, but you need to go to Edit, Preferences, and make sure that this is also set up and enabled to one of these, depending on what type of GPU your thing has. And we're going to drop up the noise threshold to 5, so it doesn't process that as much. Up the rendered noise to the same. Make sure it's using the GPU for that. Performance, persistent data. We will slash to the tile size. Oh! Right, sorry. Let me turn to different view. Sorry, I had the thing set up wrong. OBS set up wrong. Let me hide that. And then do I not just have monitors? Okay, let me display capture. Add that for a second. Display capture's up there. It's on. Okay. So what I was saying is, not only when you put it to cycles do you need to put it to GPU right there, which actually my text up here. Nope. The chat commands, move those over slightly. So not only do you need to put that to GPU, you need to go to Edit, Preferences on System, and make sure that it has one of these, depending on whatever type of GPU you have set up. You got to enable it through one of these rendering engines and select the GPU of whatever computer you're on. Because otherwise, even though you set it to use your GPU, it won't actually use your GPU. And I had to learn that the hard way. Now let's turn off display capture, go back to... Yeah. Alright. Anyway, now we're on cycles, performance, tile size is reduced, compositor, GPU, denoise GPU, but you might want to do that differently depending on how good a GPU you have. This was originally supposed to be a gaming laptop, so it's got a fairly okay one. Light, we'll pop in the sun. Let me make sure that display capture is off now, because I don't actually want you to see my file systems here in a second. Shading, world, because I'm paranoid about that. Anyway, background. And then from background, we want to drag out environmental texture. Open, that'll take you to your file system. In this case, I'm going to go to a folder for Polyhaven. Where is Polyhaven? There it is. HDRIs. HDRIs are essentially three-dimensional pictures for your environment. I put in the small cave one I have, and voila. Gives us ambient lighting and stuff to work with, so we can really see what our shaders are shadering. Back into object. Let's up the bump a little lower than that, about. And actually, this is supposed to be like a leaf-like material, I think. So let's actually do Vortellini texture. Up the scale. Detail a little. Nope. Just the scale. that. Mm. And then we'll lower the strength of it a bit. And then we'll actually mix that with the noise texture. About like that. Yeah, that should do. Alright, now we'll hide the cloak. And on the body, pull out another bump map. Pop into, actually we'll drag it here, color ramp. Disconnect. Select that. Then plug it back in. You will put out a noise texture. You will also plug into the height of that. And we will make this a bit lighter. A little more orangey. And reduce the strength down to where it's barely noticeable. Up roughness just a touch. Detail. Something like that. Then subsurface, crank that up. Crank up the scale of it till it's just a little see-through. And we'll actually tone down that purple some more. If it will. There we go. Yeah, that should do. Just lower the strength of that so it's not as jarring. There we go. For the head, we want the other color because that one is fine as is. Pull out a bump. Pull out a noise. Nope, not as. I said a noise. Up the distance for a moment so we can really see what we're doing. Drop the strength down to like that. Detail up a little bit. Drop the roughness. Drop the strength a bit more. Now a color ramp. This will be this. And another one that is pure white. And then put one more in here. Remove that. And then we'll take this to a slightly orangier and a bit darker. And that gives us a nice bone shell. Unhide the cloak. And now if I bring... Nope, that's the wrong thing. It is this. And then rotate you a touch so I can get a better look. Yeah. Yeah, I think that should do. I think that's alright. Except for, of course, we got to do the extra settings to the cloak. So back that way. And we're gonna here, and we're actually gonna make that a bit edit. Edge select. And also I don't want to be in rendered. Okay. Gonna make it a bit more tattered. By selecting a few more edges. V. Oh, we messed up because we severed something, so we're not going to separate that. Actually, we'll just let that be. as is like that. And then we will add a solidify modifier. We will put it in front of the subdivision. We will up the scale of the solidify like so. Careful to not do too much to make it go crazy. Okay, that's a little too much and it's going crazy, so more so like that. That should do. What does that look like? Okay. I'm not sure why the Vortolini texture went all weird, but shading. You know, T pop out thing. Plug that to there too. That. Oh, I actually like that. Okay, we'll leave that like that, and we'll just increase the scale a bit. That works nicely. Okay. That should do. Now we just make that character's nail. Readjust and drink some water because I almost forgot. Okay. Hydration. I think that might have messed up my tracking though. Hang on. No, it's back. Okay. I think. Is it? Yeah, it's fine. Okay. We'll drop out of render so we're not being slow to see. And then we will go add armature, rigify, basic human. And yes, I know this means I can't technically class it as rigged. I haven't been. So we will just scale that up. But I'd rather use a pre-made than struggle with making a new one at the moment. Viewport in front. Bring that down to level with the feet. Turn on symmetry. Oh. Pull that out to be even there. Bring the knee to there. And for this, it doesn't have to be perfect. I want it to be good, obviously, but if it's a little off, it won't be super noticeable. We're just going to use this to get them in a rough position. Pull the head bone all the way up to where the head is and extend it all the way up. Neck bone to the neck spot. This bone to like here. Those need to all be moved back. That. Spine back to there. This part. This. All need to move up and back. And now we adjust them individually. That down, that forward. Move that over here. That about like there. And to where bone to where hand would be. That to the elbow. That to the shoulder. These to where the pectorals / breasticles would be on a human. So about right there. That up, that back a little. That back a little. of them move back a little. That's about even, but bring that back, pull that up there. Bottom foot, like right here. And this like here, bring that up about there. Shoulders seem to be shouldered. Let me pull that back a little bit so it bends correctly. Bring the collarbone equivalent down and out. That's like there. That should generate a functionable rig. We will actually turn the cloth sim on this. We're essentially going to use its cache, and we're going to set the cache to start at 249 for the moment. So it essentially, the cloth will only behave like cloth at the very last frame for the moment. We'll fix that later, but it's just to keep it from trying to simulate that every 20 seconds. Where is the thing? This here. Generate rig. I can hide that reference again. I didn't do the thing I need to do before generating the rig. Hide the light. Rig, Control A, rotation scale. Now generate. Excuse me? Rig, all transforms. Generate. Thank you. H. Select everything else. Oh, everything barring the head, actually. Select everything but that. Rig, Control P. Automatic weight. Unhide the head. Rehide the skeleton. Object. Close mode. Parent that to the head bone. Now we test. Head moves correctly. Yes, that goes with that, but that's fine. Leg. Legs legly. Hands move like they're supposed to. Okay. Pose, clear, all. And now we make their that character's nail, which just let me look at my references and also move my chat commands. No, they're in the right spot. Okay. Okay, so it's like a little dagger with a leaf hilt. I can work with that. Alright. And get out of... I'm not in pose mode. Add mesh cube. Pull that forward. Pull that up. Object edit. Select the top. Z45. Shrink it in. Oh, turn that off. Shrink it in. Extrude in. Extrude in. Extrude in. Extrude. Oh. Extrude. Shrink it down. Pull that in just a bit. That. Down. 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 Extrude out. Up. Pull it up. Now we will select this. And then control bevel. E in there. Give it a bevel. Or fuller. Or whatever swordsmith terminology. Nope. Undo history. We want to redo that. I accidentally undid it. Okay, no, that was the wrong thing to do. Okay. Just redo that again. Here. Actually, we'll just do it here. Here and here. There and there. Bevel. Extrude in. Now. Like that. Outermost edges. Shift E. Now we plop a subdivision. Now we say extrude individual faces. Pull that up. Shrink them a bit. We'll do extrude that up. Individual origins, shrink. And we need to make that whole thing smaller. And lengthen it a bit. And then that looks about right. And then we can actually just object edit. Select everything that isn't this part, so we'll hide that, and then Control L. And we can just give this the same texture as the cloak, and then add a second texture, new. Control Alt H. And then we're gonna Control Shift Alt select all of this. We'll just go to wireframes, select it easier. Select all of that. Assign it to the new material. And then up the metallic by a lot. Lower the roughness a bit. Shade smooth. And now we go to shading. Give this a bump. Noise. Color ramp. Detail up. Up the distance. Lower the scale. There we go. Now this one has their nail equivalent. Scale it to correct in the size, put it here, and then we will parent it. No. Pose, we will parent it to, I believe it was right, this hand. No, that's, yeah, here. Yeah, it's right-handed. Okay. They're right-handed, he's right-handed, whichever it was. That looked like a power flicker. That's not good. Hopefully the stream doesn't get knocked out by an unforeseen weather phenomena. So yeah, we'll parent that to the bone. And I think that needs to be a little less bumpy still. Yeah. And then lower the roughness, lower the metallic. About like that, actually. Alright. Now they're good. And I wanted to at least make the character they had a connection to. So, let me pull that up. Unhide that. Pull it. Wrong thing. This. Pull that over so y'all can watch. We're going to go to that. Not what I meant to do. Connections. This character. Aphid. Yeah, Aphid's the character. Wasp is that we did. Wasp is the one they have a connection to. And thankfully, Wasp should be significantly easier with their head shape. Double check. Character interact with the Yep. Okay, we're good. Oop. Now that they are over there. Actually, do I want to be really lazy and just copy the body? No. No, I don't. I don't want to be that lazy. Alright. Though I will use the same textures. Somewhat. Okay, Alt E. We will add mesh cube. Bring it up. I think there was one of the... I'm going to be a little lazy, and I think I am just going to do these two characters for tonight. and not really be so much as a mass attack as a duo attack of characters that already have connection, but they're actually a little shorter. Okay. Okay. Hide that again, back to Blender. So it looks like they're about a head shorter. Object edit. Actually, I will leave that partially up. Hang on, let me do wrong thing. This. So I can have that seeing it on the stream for reference. 5 of my characters in a circus together. Oh! Neat! That's actually really cool. See, part of the reason why I struggled with thinking about joining Artfight for the first while is I am terrible at actually making characters, right? Like, the closest thing I've ever managed, like, being fully honest, Moog, the character of Floating Eyeball Monster, it's 90% self-insert. And the other, like, 3% are just putting me in a situation blender, turning it to frappe, and then boom. And then the other one I have listed, I have no idea what they actually are. They're just a freaky dude that I made one time and kept reusing occasionally. So yeah, I have no idea how people come up with OCs. I've tried, it just, like I said, I default to more self-insert type territory, just throw my own perceptions into a blender of a situation. And I've not been able to wrap my head around doing it the correct way to create characters that aren't just remakes of you. Even though I do want to, it just doesn't click in my brain. Challenges or OC generators, that might help. Like, I mean, I kind of have some. I could probably put the forest clearing characters that came up with years ago now as OCs, now that I'm thinking about it. But I don't really know what the forest clearing would be. It was like one of my early forays into vaguely horror-related things, where it was basically it was basically just my remix of Candle Cove, if you know of that old creepypasta. Why are you not scaling? There we go. I mean, it wasn't like it was a little more than a one-to-one ripoff of Candle Cove, but like that's what was the main inspiration for those. That and like generic PBS, not generic, but you know, edutainment kid shows. Probably got no idea what I'm talking about. Those were old videos at this point. That was back when I was still mostly doing physical painting and not digital. And I said I should go back and do the actual physical paintings soonish. That'd be fun. If it would drop from the paint would turn to glue before it left the nozzle, I'd actually really want to do some more spray painting videos, but because I haven't done those in a long while. But like I said, right now it's hot enough that if I attempted it, it would not go well. That is way too wide. About like that, I want to say. Little thinner. The R5 has already helped me at least a little bit in doing character art, because it's something I haven't done too much of before it, and it's given me a good reason to try and get better at it. And actually, for this one, I think instead of doing it that way, then out, Control R there, and then select all of that. And we'll do the carapace the opposite direction of previous. Shrinking in rather than adding out. Those arms feel too big. Those arms are too big. Yeah, I think that's how we'll do that one. But I will be lazy, like I said, and just go bloop. And now we go Alt 8, no, add mesh cube, bring that up. And thankfully, this head shape is probably going to be a bit easier. Delete that. Mirror. Clipping. Don't even need to turn off mirror clipping for this one. Well, for the eyes I will, but Control R, GG, slide that up. Control R, GG, slide that down. Actually, we'll here. GG there. Actually, just Control R and loop. Then median like that. R. Bevel. Oh. Yeah, bevel. So. And then, yeah, this one will be add a subdivision. Then just extrude like so. Individuals, shrink that down, pull it up. Sharpen that. And that's pretty close. We just need to take this a little up, a little further, a little bigger. Now, up. Rotate the line inward just a little. Nope. Yep. Now convert to mesh, object, sculpt, multi-res. Nope, not mask. Multi-res. One subdiv. Start decubing it. Oh, I did not have it mirroring, that's why. I was being off.
Hello there.
Hello there. This one is going significantly smoother. You step out for a minute, Moo? If so, I didn't see you leave, and I apologize for that. Don't want to go too far in the angle into angry territory. Something like that. That should be good. Apply base, object, edit. Maybe select these. Nope. Alright, fine, got you distracted for a while. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that too. Never been confirmed, but I suspect. Quite likely. Alright. That. Actually, we wanna do that a bit bigger. Pull that in a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty good, actually. Fun, someone got caught doom scrolling without messaging them. Yep. Yep. I have definitely done that at least once. Do I want to tweak this anymore, or do I think that's... No, I need to... The head needs a bit more of a curve. Yeah. Alright, and now we will sculpt mode. Bond. Do, 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 do. Dun, dun, Good to know those are still working. Sometimes it'll just stop doing it in the middle of a stream and I have to go and fix it. Alright, that's... right there's a little bit of a mess. So, object, sculpt. Did that should have gone through? Did it, or is my stream that delayed, the playback? Yep, there it is. Yeah, I made that one back when I was doing a couple Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel videos. Really into that. On my side channel, that is. This is the main one for art stuff, but I have a side channel, Moog Extra, where I did like all kinds of stuff, a little bit here and there. Mostly it's been Monster Hunter lore video reactions at this point, but like I said, I did a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I think I did like 1 or 2 other games, a couple of other reacts. Setting connections on my characters, 61st attack. Yeah, indeed, nice. I think that's good. This I actually want to tweak. That in a little. These are Drunk and Sunshine. So just gonna. I mean, that is the dynamic, isn't it? That is the dynamic. Drop that to there. Just give that the same eye hole. Is that the one with the... Yep. Object edit. Select. Assign hide. Select control. Assign. Alt H. And then on this one, actually, we're going to duplicate it and we're going to take it a... let me see how it looks under full lighting. No, that's, I think that's good. Yeah. Alright. Add mesh. Cylinder. Just going to do the exact same thing as before. Shrink that to about the next size. Only this one, it actually goes under the mask instead of over. One hate 9% of people into come all the time. Others an extrovert, loves everyone, super happy and giddy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that is the dynamic. Alright, now actually, and then if I go mesh, where is it? It is select, check or deselect, and extrude like that. There we go. And just delete that. You guys are going to start spamming that, aren't you? Subdue. Make sure. Yeah, that's. I need to make it a little bit bigger. All right. I mean, yeah, it'll raise the the number ticking up is for your chat score. So yeah, if you want to start spamming it, go for it. See if you can get it going constantly. I doubt it, but maybe.
Hello there. Hello there.
Oh, I need to make sure that's on this. Okay, it's good. Yeah! That sounds so stupid with the high pitched voice. We're gonna duplicate that to there, but then copy it into a separate fabric. I just got the hue saturation and then put the right thing. Adjust till it's a reddish pink. Something else there. Up the
Hello there.
value.
NANI?!
Lower the saturation about right. That's pretty close. A little bit more. Shift the hue slight. That's about perfect. Okay. Convert that to a mesh. Convert that to a mesh. Make sure that has collage on it. Make sure that has blue. Object edits. Come in here. Select this edge. Group assign. And then we're gonna come over here and
actually have that too big, so we're gonna object edit. Yeah, my soundboard had a
Couple different voices built into it. So, you know, if you wanted me to do something like this, I would be able to. And of course,
There's also just this one, which deepens it up a bit, and if I add a bit of gravel to my voice, it makes a bit of a good monstrous voice, especially if I add a bit of wetness to my pronunciations. Really get it back of the throat where I talk.
Then I could just put it to a normal microphone and do this naturally.
Yeah, I mean,
I can just do this. This is natural, no filter.
Nope. This is what it is like with the filter on the first level of Deep Voicener.
this is what it is like with the Lolliverse filter for some reason.
And this is what it is like with the monster voice.
and then of course, I also have auto-tune. Or, you know, I could even throw in some echo, but it doesn't work with the auto-tune, so, you know,
Nope.
I have to have the auto-tune off if you want echo. I think.
It does work with the tone shifter ones, though.
So, or it could be some sort of like draconic beast in the midst of a cave. Or something, whatever. Oh, oh. There we go, that's good. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing that we did, where we set the cache to only trigger at 249, so it only pretends to clock on the end, and then we'll change that later, of course. For H on hide, we'll use the same Skeletone object edit mode. Move the leaves up, move that over, so down a touch. Get the knee to the knee spot, adjust the pelvic bones. Just that, that's, pull that forward, that down a bit, that in some, that is where the arrow is on this one, pull that in, like so. That there, the neck, and now this needs to be brought down. Oh, those have to stay together. Bring that down. Bring this down, and that's gonna go to right here. And now that should... No, those are way off right here. That's bring to right here. That over. That over. I sound like an Onionite when I hum with this set of filters going. Fire. It doesn't so much when I talk, but yeah. Yeah, would completely confuse people, but you know what else would confuse people? Oh wait, did that do it on my thing, or did it just, I think that messed up, hang on, me. Oh, no, it did deploy it, okay. Yeah, I can do that, anyway.
NANI?
Yeah,
NANI?
my model has a few tricks.
NANI? NANI?
As far as so no, that was another like. I
NANI?
really hope we're not gonna lose power for
NANI?
nothing. Anyway, down. Okay, that rig should be rigged. That to right here. No, that's right here.
And then we drop it back to the regular bonus.
Just with the echo effect. And I go almost stupid with it. I can do a bit of a Yoda voice, kind of, fart into it. Bones ready? They are. Or something, I don't know. Okay, save, and then we go regenerate. Put it over there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make these a separate skeleton. Shift D, then hide one. This should be a new one, so it shouldn't freak out. Nope. That's Alt H. This, and then that's the duplicate. Okay. Please. Nope, it keeps messing with the original one. Shoot. I'm gonna need to re-rig it with a new version of the default humanoid, whatever. Not that big of an issue. Just minor annoyance. That is thunder. Yep, I was right about that possibly being power flicker. What? Do you fear the void? Do you hear its call? Can you not handle a echoing voice? I'll turn the echo knob down. but still talk like this. Ooh, spooky, scary skeletons. Send shivers down your spine. Make a Star Wars ship for the next showcase? That would actually be really cool. I hope you do. If you want to try doing it, Blender, go for it. Actually, doing a spaceship depends on how intricate, but it wouldn't be that hard of a beginner project for Blender, I don't think. Especially if you kept it to a more simpler, like, TIE fighter ship. I was saying you'd do a TIE, but, you know, TIE'd probably be the easiest to model. If that's how you wanted to do it. I am by no means telling you that's what or how you have to. Just throwing out ideas. Though that won't get you the somehow guessing the favorite ship bonus points. My all-time favorite spaceship is not of a Star Wars persuasion. Oh, Sugal, sure, I didn't see you when you joined. Sorry. And so probably horribly mispronoulating your name too.